As a man who likes to think back on the past, 2019 had its fair share of successes and failures. Falling out with really important individuals in my life, starting to fall back into my dark hours, started falling in love, and ultimately allowing myself to believe in something that would never even happen, therefore allowing myself to get hurt. However, with all that being said, 2019 had its good moments, and some great moments, one of which is one of my all-time favourite musicians and human beings, Ziggy Marley, reposting a post that I tagged him in on Instagram, not to mention liking my actual post as well. And it just so happens to have been on my birthday, which is a huge moment in my life. He was one of the first Marley members that I would listen to the music of, apart from the legend Bob Marley, of course. That would help me through the darkest days of my life and help me reach the other side of the tunnel. So that moment was extremely special to me. While 2019 wasn't the greatest of years, it had a lot of moments that taught me some extremely valuable lessons in life. Lessons that I would carry on for the rest of my physical life and into my spiritual life. In life you gain knowledge, so use it to your benefit and become a stronger human and live life to the fullest. Bless it. As I mentioned in the last chapter, falling in love with a friend is something nobody should ever have to endure, especially if it's going to cause issues between your friend and yourself, which of course it did with me. Rian and myself would often talk a lot, and in that nature, sometimes feelings surface. Yep, I had fallen in love with her. In my eyes, she was amazing, smart, funny, and we had a lot in common, which is what every person wants in a potential partner. Don't get me wrong, she's still all those things. If something was to ever happen between the two of us, it was never going to happen back then. She obviously knew that I liked her, women's intuitions and all that, plus I'm fairly certain I had told her. She clearly didn't see me in the same light that I saw her. I'd be lying if I didn't say I was kind of too much at times for her to handle, and we'd end up arguing over something so stupid, something that could easily have not been brought up in any conversations, yet it still hurt like a bitch. I'd often find myself laying in bed at night thinking to myself, why am I not good enough? Or why doesn't she love me? And I'd beat myself up over it. I'd actually find myself hating myself more and more as the days went by. Now, however, I have grown as a person, and I don't ever find myself thinking about all that anymore. I don't ever regret loving Rian. I do hate myself for allowing myself to let things become sour between her and myself over the years. In my eyes, I had a lot of love to give. Sometimes things just ain't meant to turn out the way that you had hoped. Growing up, my mother had a good friend by the name of Raj. I think that was his name. Raj was very into reggae music, very into UB40, Bob Marley, Peter Tosh, and all of them legendary reggae icons. Where does this fit into my story, you're probably thinking? Well, basically, all my life I've been around reggae, from spending time at Raj's place while he was listening to music, to the old school children's show that I used to enjoy, Arthur, which the theme song for was performed by Ziggy Marley. I learned that actually for the first time a few years back. Talking to Ziggy Marley, it was his music first out of the Marley brothers that I was spending a lot of time listening to. I've always been a huge fan of the Marley family as a whole, so when I got Ziggy Marley's cookbook for my birthday in 2019, I was stoked. Little did I know that once I posted a picture of it on Instagram, Ziggy Marley would actually like the post and share it to his own Instagram profile. What? I was shocked. I had previous Instagram interactions with Rowan Marley beforehand, a couple as of the time of writing this, and I thought that was it for my interactions with the Marley family over social media. But when I saw that from Ziggy on my birthday of all days, man, I was like a kid at Christmas. It had a similar effect on me as when Mark Hamill retweeted me on Twitter a little under 2 months before. Now I know what some people will say. They'll say, it's just a social media manager, or it's just a retweet or a repost from a celebrity. It's not like meeting him in person, blah blah fucking blah. I don't care. Every social media interaction I've had with a celebrity is from someone that has brought me joy and happiness in life. And Ziggy's interaction was a very important one to me because he, along with his family members, have indirectly helped me out when I was in my extremely darkest moments in life.